Hi, this is Jack from Maths Forge, and in today's lesson we're going to be doing Pythagoras Theorem. So let's take a look at our first example. Here we're being asked to find the side x in this right angle triangle given two other sides. Pythagoras' theorem states that if you have a right angle triangle with two smaller sides that we're going to call A and B, then the third side, which is also the longest side, has a relationship that exists between them. The relationship that exists is that if you take the two smaller sides and square them, and then add them together, this gives you the third side, which is also the longest side, squared. Now, the longest side of a right angle triangle has a special name. It's called the hypotenuse. And how you can identify the hypotenuse is that it will always be facing the right angle. So how can we use Pythagoras' theorem to solve this question here? Well, if the relationship that exists between all three sides is that the two smaller ones squared and added together give you the third side squared, then we can do the following calculation. 60 squared plus 32 squared will give us x squared. And now calculating these two, 60 squared is 3,600 and 32 squared is 1,024. And this is still equal to x squared. Adding these two values together gives us the following, 4,624. And this is still equal to x squared. Now it's just a matter of solving for x. So right now x is being squared. And in order to get rid of this square, we have to square root it, so do the opposite of squaring. So we'll do this to both sides. The square root of a quantity being squared will just give us that quantity, which in this case is x. And the square root of 4,624 will give us 68. And if we check our answer, there it is. The side x is 68 centimeters. Now let's do a two-star example. Here we're given one of the smaller sides and the other smaller side is x, so we have to find it. But they have given us the hypotenuse. So let's use Pythagoras' theorem to solve this. So Pythagoras' theorem states that the two smaller sides squared and added together gives you the largest side squared. So it's going to be 48 squared plus x squared is equal to 60 squared. Your hypotenuse, the 60 centimeters in this case, will always be on the right-hand side of the equation. So now let's simplify this. 48 squared will give us 2,304. And then we add this to x squared. And this is equal to 60 squared, which is 3,600. Now this is just a matter of solving for x. So the first step I'm going to do is to get rid of this 2,304. And we're going to do this by subtracting 2,304 from both sides of the equation. This now leaves us with x squared is equal to 1,296. Now for the final step, to get x on its own, it's currently being squared, so we are going to square root both sides. This now leaves us with x is equal to the square root of 1,296, which is 36. So the side x is 36 centimeters. And if we check our answer, there it is. Now we'll do a three-star example. Here we're being asked to find to the nearest decimal place x. So in this case, they're giving us the hypotenuse and one of the smaller sides. We have to find the other smaller side. So we're going to do Pythagoras' theorem. We're going to square the two smaller sides and add them together. And we're going to equal this to the largest side, 220 squared. Simplifying this, 123 squared is 15,129 plus x squared. And 220 squared gives us 48,400. Now we have to solve for x, so the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of this 15,129, and we're going to do that by subtracting. This now leaves us with x squared is equal to 33,271. And now to get x on its own, we square root both sides. This now leaves us with x is equal to 182.4 to the nearest decimal place. And since this is a length, it's 182.4 centimeters. And if we check our answer, there it is. And that's it for the lesson on Pythagoras' theorem.